I don't like my bearded dragon setup. And judging by that black beard, I'm not sure he does either. Granted, he is shedding. But why don't I like it? Well, as you can tell, the floor of his enclosure is just slate panels. And that's not natural. If you know anything about us here at Northern Exotics, we really thrive to give the best naturalistic environment for our animals. Take Attenborough, our green tree python, fully naturalistic with plants that come from his native habitat. Same for our mourning geckos, our Calots versicolor setup, even our royal python, which is all the way down there. How can we change it? I do not like it because it's not natural. Although it is quite nice, we do need to change it. How can I change that substrate on the bottom? Because it is just slate panels, slate dinner plate sort of things. I want to go natural. I want to do something that's quite up and down and a bit hilly and a bit sort of just not flat. Something a bit more native for them. Well, that's where these boxes come into play. I want to do something like my leopard gecko enclosure. That's this setup just here. You can see how it's all hills and there's burrows and hides and absolutely loads of things dotted all over the place. Now, how did I make this? Because this isn't loose sand, it's not substrate, it's expanding foam. But then I actually carved the expanding foam into all those shapes, covered it with tile grout and plaster just to give it that heat resistance because it is quite warm in there. We dug in some planters kicking around just to add some native grasses into the area that he would naturally see as a leopard gecko in the wild. And then while the plaster was all still wet, we ended up pushing sand into it, sharp sand, and making it nice and solid and firm. You can see even like there's a thumbprint from when I pushed down on it. I left it to dry, left it to cure for as long as I possibly could. A good 3 or 4 days, I think this one I left it for. And then I just brushed off all the excess. Look, I even stuck little planters down there and over that back corner just up there. I left it and just brushed off all the excess, hoovered it all up, and this was the outlet that I was looking at. Granted, there is some loose substrate in here, you know, around all the plants and stuff like that. It's really firm, it's really compact. That hole's quite cool because it's a hole. I built a box underneath that corner. That's why this whole corner is really raised. And I put a hole in the top, and that's the moist hide, and I can get to the moist hide through this little hole on the side. Now, I kind of want to do something similar for him, except he doesn't come from sand land mostly, and he doesn't come from loose looking sand. It's really firm, it's really compact. So how can I do that? And I tell you what, I spent a good month just looking around, just not solidly, a few bits here, a few bits there, just having a nosy, seeing what if there was a product that I could use to replicate that without having to go down that path again, because it was quite expensive doing that. I want something that's not sand. Sand is consistently the same size, consistently the same colour. I want something that's a little bit darker in colour. It's got multiple different sizes of grain, and I also want to be able to make sure it's solid but has that loose sort of look to it, but isn't loose. I can't get these boxes open. They're actually, there we go. Ooh. And I've got the stuff that I think I need. After months of actual trying to find something, I think I may have done it. I've emailed Exo Terra, and this is apparently a new product that they've brought out recently that hasn't really got the launch that it should have had. No, it didn't really take off like I think it should have. And I sit there thinking, well, why? And all that sort of stuff. I've not heard of it. I mean, let me know if you've heard of it. You're going to have to hear me out on this. Let's just... Oh, God, there's some weight in that. There's one bag. I'll open up the next box and I'll show you the next bag, and then I'll explain what it actually is. Oh, big old heavy bags. I've got one here. I've got one down here. I've got 2 bags because that's all I think I'm going to need for him. Exo Terra Stone Desert. What this is. Look, I'll get you a closer look, shall I? I'll put it on the table. I'll bring you down. There we go. Nice and easy. Stone Desert by Exo Terra. Now, a new product that's come out that I've never heard of, but it came out a while ago. It's a landscaping decor. You can see it just there. So there's loads of different sizes, loads of different materials all inside it. The thing I like about this, you can create tunnels and burrows, but the animal can also create tunnels and burrows. It's a natural looking landscape that if you add water to it, it can be solid. So you can add all the hills and all the mounds and little planters in the corners. You can add loads of different burrows. You can add elevated areas near the basking spots so they can get warmer if they so feel the need to. This will allow them and encourage them to do their normal natural behaviours, which, let's face it, that's the whole reason why we go naturalistic with some of our animals. Encourage natural behaviours. They can do their digging, they can do their burrowing, they can do their scurrying around, they can do whatever they want in a natural substrate. And that's what this promotes. So what we do, let's get it out and have a look at some. Most soils in every other location across the world isn't just soil, it's not just sand based, it's not just anything. So this is just, as you can tell, look, it's just a normal multi-textured sort of loads of different size chunks and powders and stuff. Add a little bit of water into this and it goes solid when it dries. It says on the back of the wrapper just here, you can see I'm reading it just here, that this, if you make the burrows really nicely, it will do exactly what the burrows would do naturally in the wild. They will catch the humidity and stay humid inside those burrows. So you can make humid hides and it won't affect the substrate or sometimes when you make burrows, they can collapse. This won't do that, which is absolutely perfect for stuff like leopard geckos. He obviously doesn't need much like that, but it's great little knowledge to know. It's apparently a great heat conductor so that when you've made your burrow, they can have a hot hide and a higher part if they want to get elevated closer towards the hot spot. You could also mix and match this, so you could build your burrow with this material here, and then inside that burrow you can add something in there to keep it humid and it won't affect the burrow. So you can build your moist hide for your leopard gecko and then chuck in something like the plantation soil by Exo Terra, and that will keep the humidity in there really well and keep it as a humid hide without damaging the burrow that you've actually made. They've even got a QR code on the packaging to show you how to create outcrops, tunnels and burrows with the Exo Terra Stone Desert. I like that. Loads of different languages, because it's all over the world. I'll stick all the links down in the description down below. Go and check it out and make your own mind up. I cannot wait to get his enclosure really done. That'll be my next video. Once he's finished shedding, we're going to start work on that. The way I'm thinking of doing it is similar to the other one, where I do the expanding foam and carve it. I got that idea from Emma Lim Simpson off YouTube. I'll leave her video link down in the description, where she created a full naturalistic bioactive setup for a leopard gecko using this product, and that's where I found out about it, to be fair. So if you're interested in using it for leopard geckos, go and check out her video and you'll be able to see how she used it with the expanding foam like I'm going to do. I'll have to re-watch her video just to get some hints and tips on exactly how she did it, but from what I could tell, she expanding foamed the base, carved it all into shape, mixed this with a bit of water to make it nice so it will go off, it will dry, it will go solid, and then she sculpted it around, and you've got a natural look. You'll have a natural look just like that, but it won't be a loose substrate, so it'll be naturalistically tough like it is out in Australia. I'm really excited for this. I've been searching for months. Have I found the best substrate for this? I think I have. Tune in next time to see me do that full build again using this substrate.